let me consider this is horizontal and this is vertical. A body can be projected in any way. Let me consider a body is being projected in such a way. Here is an object and it is being given purely horizontal velocity u, that is along x-axis. So if a body is being given horizontal velocity, like if a body is being given horizontal velocity, it travel on the straight line path. This is purely horizontal motion. Same body being given velocity vertically upward with respect to ground, it is pure vertical motion. This is pure vertical motion. One is horizontal motion and the other one is vertical motion. In case of pure horizontal motion, the velocity vector is making an angle 0 degrees with respect to x-axis. Whereas in case of pure vertical motion, the angle made by the velocity vector is 90 degrees. Okay. So if a body is being given velocity in such a way, if the angle of velocity vector is projecting 0 degrees with horizontal, it is pure horizontal motion. If it is projecting an angle of 90 degrees with the horizontal, it is pure vertical motion. And about horizontal motion and vertical motion, clearly we have discussed in the earlier video sessions. Today, we will be learning about a body which is being given a velocity other than 0 degrees and 90 degrees. It is like this. Say you are giving velocity to a body in such a way it makes some angle with the x-axis. This is horizontal and it is vertical. This is x-axis and it is y-axis. And you are giving some velocity to the body. It is making an angle theta which is equal to some say 30 degrees. Now this body which is being projected, this is neither traveling along horizontal nor traveling along vertical. It moves in the plane, and that too in xy plane it travel in such a way it could be like this. So it can travel in such a way that it has both x component and as well as y component. It is projecting some length along x-axis and also it is projecting some length along y-axis. Okay, so therefore here we have three different cases where if theta is equal to 0, it is pure horizontal motion. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, it is pure vertical motion. Whereas if theta lies between 0 and 90, theta lies between 0 and 90, such motion is called projectile. That is called as projectile, and motion is called projectile motion. Other than 0 and 90 degrees, if you are projecting a body making an angle in between 0 and 90, then in such case it is called projectile motion. Theta can be 0 or theta can be 30, 40, any value it can be. It can be projected like this. It can be projected like this. It can be projected like this. Any value it can be. Theta can be equal to, say, this angle. I can consider it as 20 degrees. This angle I can consider it as 40. This angle I can consider it as 60. Like that. Even it can be this closer angle. It can be even 88 degree. Even if it is 88 degree, it will be not considered as vertical motion. It will be considered as projectile motion itself. So therefore, if at all a body is being given velocity in such a way, the velocity vector make an angle theta other than 0 and 90, it is said to be as projectile motion. Now we will be learning about projectile motion in detail. How does this body travel and what is its path and what happens along x-axis and y-axis, that we will be discussing in today's session. Now if you see this animation in this figure, body is starting at point O, it goes to point A and then comes to B and then comes to C and then comes to D. So when you are throwing a body in such a way, it is making an angle theta with respect to x-axis. This is the velocity vector and let its initial velocity be u, and it is making some angle theta with respect to x-axis. As this vector is in the plane, you can resolve that vector into two components. One is component along horizontal and the other component along the vertical. Now I'll resolve that as along x-axis you can write it as u cos theta, and along y you can write it as u sin theta. Okay, so if you resolve the velocity vector, it can be resolved as u cos theta and as well as u sin theta. U cos theta is along horizontal, u sin theta is along vertical. Now observe clearly, when you are projecting a body in the plane, point number 1 to be noted is only gravitational force acts on it. Gravitational force act on it continuously. Of course, you are providing some velocity initially to the body, but you are not continuously pushing it. You are just giving some initial velocity to the body, and once you are being projected, it is under the influence of gravitational force. There is only one gravitational force acting on this body, and that gravitational force is in which direction? Downward. And this is purely vertically. Downward in the sense it is vertically, right? So whenever you are projecting a body, you need to observe that there is only one force acting on the body. It is in downward, that is gravitational force. It is under the influence of gravity. Therefore, along x direction there is no force. Along y direction there is gravitational force. Along x-axis it is 0. Force along y-axis is equal to mg. Force F is equal to ma. Mass into acceleration along x-axis is equal to 0. And here acceleration along y direction is equal to acceleration due to gravity. Therefore, clearly you can understand that when you are projecting a body, it is affected like only along y direction. It is affected with acceleration because there is gravitational force. Along x-axis it is equal to 0. That means along x-axis acceleration is equal to 0. So at any particular point, if you find out velocity or if you find out displacement, it will have both x component and as well as y component. Check it up at this point B, or at this point if you see, you can take that into two components. One component is along horizontal u cos theta and one component is along vertical, it is u sin theta. Similarly, at this point B, it has one component along horizontal u cos theta, and by the time it comes over here, u sin theta is equal to 0. Its vertical component become 0. Similarly, when it is coming to point C, along horizontal it is u cos theta, along vertical it is u sin theta, its value is being changed. So clearly you can observe that motion along x-axis, it is purely uniform because there is no force acting along x direction. But along y direction, there is gravitational force acting on the body. As a result, along y direction, it is non-uniform motion. So clearly, you can write that motion along x-axis. Motion along x-axis is uniform. Acceleration along x-axis is equal to 0. Therefore, velocity initial is equal to velocity final is equal to u cos theta. This remains same as it is. Whereas motion along y direction, motion along y-axis is non-uniform. Acceleration along y direction is equal to g, and that is downward. Therefore, initial velocity is not equal to velocity at the highest point. So velocity is not equal to velocity at the highest point. What would happen there? Vertical velocity magnitude decreases with respect to time because acceleration is in downward direction, body velocity is in upward direction. Magnitude of u sine theta decreases with time. Why it is decreasing with time? See, initially, for example, vertical component u sine theta magnitude, let it be some 10 meter per second. At the highest point, what would happen? As it is going up, acceleration is in downward direction. 10 will become 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Finally, at the point B, vertical component becomes 0. Horizontal component remains same as it is. So at the point of projection, if horizontal component is 10 meter per second, vertical component is also 10 meter per second. Horizontal component at position B will be remain same as it is 10 meter per second, but vertical component tend to become 0. Therefore, you need to understand that at point B, ux horizontal component, it is u cos theta as it is, but whereas along y direction, its velocity is 0. That means at the highest point B, vertical component is 0. And what about acceleration? Acceleration is ay, which is not equal to 0, and that is g. So clearly, there is a condition which we have discussed in the previous lecture. There can have a zero velocity for a body but non-zero acceleration. It is satisfying here. Body's vertical velocity is 0, but its acceleration is non-zero. See, here you are getting 0. Velocity is 0 along vertical, but along vertical acceleration is non-zero. Therefore, a body can have zero velocity but non-zero acceleration. Next. As I told you, when the body is starting at O and from O to B, it is traveling upward. This is upward journey. Magnitude of velocity decreases vertically. From B to D, magnitude of velocity increases with respect to time. Now, clearly, journey OB is upward. So, time taken to travel in this upward journey is called time of ascent. It is called time of ascent, denoted with TA. So time taken by a body to start at O and reach B, it is called time of ascent. And next, for example, if the body is starting at B and it is coming towards D, so BD is downward journey. In case of downward journey, what happens to velocity? Velocity magnitude increases. Time taken to travel from B to D, it is time of descent. This is called time of descent. It is called time of descent. So time taken to travel from O to B is called time of ascent. Time taken to travel from B to D, it is called time of descent. You need to now find out equations for all these points, all these equations, right? Remember that this is two-dimensional motion. Two-dimensional motion is resolved as individual one-dimensional motion. For example, anywhere if you want to find out velocity, say for example, velocity at different points, I'll be locating it with different points. I'm sorry. Velocity at different points if I want to locate. See at this point if I consider, I'll name that as O. Let me name that as O. This is O, A, B, C and D, right? So at any point, velocity at O, you can write it as velocity along x-axis I cap plus velocity along y-axis j cap. Similarly, velocity at A, you can write it as velocity along x-axis I cap plus velocity along y-axis j cap. Similarly, velocity at B also can be written as velocity along x-axis plus velocity along y-axis at any particular point. This is at B. So simply what you need to do in order to find out any component, like we will consider this two-dimensional motion as two individual one-dimensional motions, and we can find out the velocities, acceleration and as well as displacement of the body. Say for example, velocity if you want to write, what do you write? Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. Similarly, you can find out acceleration as Ax I cap plus Ay j cap. Likewise, you can write down displacement R as x I cap plus y j cap. Anything you can write down by considering this in two dimensions. Suppose if it is three dimension, what do you do? Xi plus yj plus zk. Velocity can be written as vxi cap plus vyj cap plus vzk cap. Acceleration can also be written in the same way, like along three individual dimensions we will be finding out velocities, and you will write it in the form of vector so that you will be getting final velocity over there. That is the technique we will be using here, and we will be finding out velocities at different positions of the body and displacement and also acceleration. Clearly I told you for this body along x-axis acceleration is 0. Now let us find out velocities and all terms along x-axis. That is horizontal. Okay. So horizontally you can write now what is initial velocity. Initial velocity you can write it as u x, which is equal to u cos theta. Along x-axis you can write it as u cos theta, and time taken to travel is time of ascent. Like if this body is taking some time to travel from here to here, this length is x and this length is y. I am considering this is y and this is x. Now time taken to travel, that is time of ascent. Time of ascent is equal to distance traveled divided by speed. What is distance traveled here? In reaching from O to B, that is x divided by what is its speed? Along x-axis its speed is u cos theta, right? This is time of ascent, and acceleration along x-axis is equal to 0. Final velocity will be equal to u cos theta plus acceleration is however 0, because v is equal to u plus at formula I am using. A is acceleration, that is 0. V is equal to u cos theta, final velocity. So initial velocity is equal to final velocity is equal to u cos theta, that is same to same as it is like initial. Now come to y, that means vertically. Vertically, what is happening here? When the body is starting at O and it travel towards B, vertically its velocity decreases. U sine theta magnitude decreases with respect to time. So vertically I can write it as, you can use equation of motion V is S is equal to ut plus half at square. V, that is y, is equal to uy into t minus of g t square, and this is time of ascent. We are considering motion of the body only from O to B. Time of ascent we have already known, it is x divided by u cos theta. As acceleration along y direction is non-zero and that is pointed in downward direction, therefore I am taking here g as negative. Upward motion I am considering positive, downward motion I am considering negative, acceleration is downward, so therefore I am taking here negative. Now y is equal to, you can write Vy. What is Vy? Velocity along y axis, that is u sine theta into time of ascent, it is x divided by u cos theta minus of half g into time of ascent, you can write it as x square divided by u square cos square theta. Fine. You can cancel u here, sin theta by cos theta, it is left with tan theta. Y is equal to tan theta into x minus half or t by 2 u square cos square theta into x square. Now let us write tan theta is equal to a t divided by 2 u square cos square theta. I am considering it as b. Take this a and b, substitute in this expression. What do you get finally? You can write it as y is equal to ax minus bx square. And this is the final expression for motion or path of the body which is traveling in the form of a projectile. And this is equation for parabola. This is equation for parabola. Therefore, you can clearly tell path of the projectile is parabola. So in order to prove that, what you are doing, simply you are considering motion along x-axis here, and then we are considering motion along y direction. So taking this value of time of ascent which you have got in x-axis, you are substituting that in y, so that you are getting equation y equal to ax minus bx square. A is constant, which is tan theta, and b is also constant. B, it is g is 9.8. U cos theta, that is initial velocity along horizontal, and that value does not change. So b is also constant. A and b are constants here. So finally you can write y is equal to ax minus bx square, which is equation representing a parabola. This states that motion or the path of the body which is being projected is a parabola.